Ahoy there, it's Skyward Shield. Welcome to Football Talks. We are now going to week 11. I am joined by Bill. Say hello, Bill.
Yo, what is up?
Bill, we had more bye weeks. Houston had a bye week. Bill Belichick had a bye week. And
So that way you can finally put that mic in its microphone stand.
the Bills have a short week. So yeah, more Bills for you today. Anyway, we only have two games to talk about because the Texans and the Patriots, like I said, were on byes. But they were good. Well, one was good and one was the complete blowout. So first game, supposedly America's team versus London's team, Jacksonville Jaguars, who are going again next year to play who were they playing? The Bills, I believe, actually. So more Bills.
Wow. Let's just hope that next year that the London fans don't have to see Jim Schwartz in their poor city. You know, he'll stay in that poor city. But I digress. You know.
So, I did not see much of this because I was so focused on the other game. I saw bits and pieces of it, and I liked what I saw. Romo played well. I saw the touchdown passes. Jacksonville put up an early lead with 7-0. However, I saw the punt being dropped, and it was picked up by Dallas, and it was within the 10-yard line, or probably on the 3. That was that was really bad.
Yeah. But really the Dallas Cowboys looked and played like a desperate team. They played like a desperate team. They got back to what they were doing well, and that was running the football. That Jaguars run defense is no joke. It played decently well against DeMarco Murray. It limited him to only 100 yards. But the problem with that defense, and it's been their Achilles heel the entire year, has been their pass defense. Their pass defense has been atrocious this year.
It's trash.
And Dez Bryant exposed that.
And that was all only in the second quarter. I think all his catches were in the second quarter.
Yep.
158 yards, I believe. 2 touchdowns. 2 great touchdowns, in my opinion. Just catching the ball and running through the Jacksonville defensive players for a touchdown. Great.
That the one was more impressive than the other one. One of them, he just stiff-armed, and he just stiff-armed a guy right into the end zone. I mean, literally he stuck his arm out, and he was like, you would not tackle me, and just, threw him backwards. It was a beautiful thing to see. I enjoy watching good football, and that game was some good football for the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys played overall very aggressively, played very well, but there was one glaring mistake.
Before you go, I want go on to that. I will mention, since talking about Romo, the one throw, the throw to Witten, I thought was Jacksonville's biggest mistake. There was that one player who was blocking Witten. He was in front of him, and he tried to go after Romo. Big mistake. Romo moved a little to the left, and then got a clear shot to Jason Witten. I think it was perfectly fine if you just let your defensive players catch up to Romo, but I mean that was a big mistake for Jacksonville, and I thought that was really the nail in the coffin for them.
Really, that's a player you can't lose track of either. Jason Witten, he's the walking first down guy. He gets you the first downs. If it's 3rd and 6, who do you think is going to get the first down? It's not going to be Dez. He's on the outside. It's either Terrence Williams or it's Jason Witten weekly. 1 week it's Terrence, 1 week it's Jason. 1 week it's Terrence, 1 week it's Jason. Or it's both. And both happening in the game is typically a recipe for a blowout for the Cowboys.
Well, they didn't need Williams for this blowout because, well,
exactly.
it's the Jags.
Terrence Williams was a non-factor, but if you really look at the game, they didn't really get into many third down and really difficult situations. You know, they were smart and played it smartly. They were going in third and fours, third and threes, third and twos, third and ones. That if you do that, that is a recipe for winning football games. That's what they need. That's what they needed to be doing earlier against other teams that they lost to in a row. That being that being said, I mean the Jacksonville offense was playing from behind, and they the Cowboy defense still gave up 17 points to the Jaguars.
Yeah, well, wasn't one of them a safety?
I don't think so.
Because it was 7, and then it went to 9. Had to be a safety.
I don't remember. I don't remember seeing that. It might have been.
Because remember, I was focusing more on the Detroit game, which we'll be getting to in a moment.
Yeah,
But get to what you were going to mention earlier. You know,
overall,
the one problem.
The biggest problem I had with Dallas in the game is later in the game, Tony Romo was still in the game when it was a blowout. He's dealing with 2 bones in his back being broken, and you're leaving him out there taking hits still. I get it. You want to win the game, and you just never know. Any given Sunday, you could go from winning 31 to nothing and lose the game. Look at what happened with Dallas when Detroit played them a few years ago. They were winning like 31 to 10 or 31 to 3, and they lost.
I like to think the better example was Green Bay. With their backup quarterback, you let them come back.
Exactly. I mean, overall, I felt like they left them in a little too long. You know, I mean, what's a better recipe? They're winning big, take him out, rest him up, let him rest up for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then be ready for the next game, or you get him hurt, he's out for the year, and you have Brandon Weeden as your quarterback for the rest of the year.
Yeah, better just like let Romo out and let Weeden get some experience. I mean, you're playing against what I would consider a college defense ranked team because it's that bad.
It's not good, and they should have put Brandon Weeden in a lot earlier. Let him play with the starters. Let him get a little chemistry just in case Tony Romo does go down, because his back is a liability and you don't know what's going to happen with it later on in the year. That's a fact of the matter, and I feel like Dallas was playing with fire. They can't do that against other teams that they're going to be facing. Has Dallas even played San Francisco yet?
Oh, that was their first game. Remember, they lost to them.
Oh, yeah.
They turned the ball over twice or 3 times in the first quarter, and that led to touchdowns.
I was going to say, because if Dallas... I just feel like they're playing with too much fire and that they should just calm it down, take it easy, move it on, you know.
I think they've already played, now, after playing Arizona, they've played all of the NFC West.
Yeah, so I think they had a streak of games where they played all of them.
Because it was San Fran, then Tennessee, then they hosted the Saints, I think, or they played the Rams. Then they played the Saints, and then they played the Texans, and yeah, you know the rest.
Yep.
So they're done. The only other NFC team that they haven't played that's not in their division is that one game against the one team from the NFC North, the Bears. That's a Thursday night game, and they're going there again. This is the last time they played them. That was on a Thursday night as well, and the Bears blew them out, 45-17. That was horrible.
That That team was a whole different team, though.
Yeah, so I'm,
That
I'm
Bears
certain they'll
team.
beat them now because that DeMarco Murray will run miles ahead compared to Matt Forte, which they're not trusting the ball enough with him. But I
I
digress.
I just hope that the Dallas Cowboys let their players rest, let Desi Des rest, let
They've got a
DeMarco.
they've got a whole week now to rest up, so they're gonna hear you, Bill. But the other thing is when you were talking about Romo resting, it's like yeah, it's true, and other quarterbacks did that because there were a lot of blowouts this week too. Like for a time, which we'll talk more about later, Peyton just destroyed the Raiders after he like they picked him off twice. I think I know they
Yeah,
picked him off once. I saw that happen, and
yeah.
then what was it? Like, so after he scored what 5 touchdowns, they let him rest. Aaron Rodgers, all his touchdowns were pretty much in the first half, and then they let him rest. And then who else? There was another team I think that happened too, but
I'm
I
not.
I
It
don't remember.
it was. I don't even remember, but
Oh,
I
I
mean,
think no, I don't know, but oh well, you know what I'm
the,
getting.
oh yeah. Seriously, the overall theme is just let your guys rest and let them get a little bit more healthy. Tony Romo's back won't be healthy this year, the rest of the year. You need to preserve him. You can't allow Brandon Whedon be your quarterback. Like I said, if like I said last week, if Brandon Whedon was the quarterback against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Jaguars would have won that game. I
Maybe. I think well,
I
seeing as how well Murray played, I think Murray would have had to carry the team again, but this time without the help of Romo,
Yep.
somewhat. So yeah, but I mean, this is what I'm thinking. If they know they're gonna blow out a team, like if it's 31-7 like this again, you may as well switch out to Whedon, and if the off chance the whoever they're playing has a chance of coming back, then you switch back to Romo. Can you switch back to a quarterback?
Oh yeah.
So then just switch him back and then see what happens. But
A lot of time they don't like doing that because they don't like breaking the quarterback's rhythm. But I mean, seriously, you need to preserve him because that's their best shot at winning. Having Romo do his thing.
well, it's good they got to buy this late because they needed it. So
Exactly.
I mean, I know another team that needs it now, the Cardinals, because they need to get acquainted with Drew Stanton. But we'll talk about that later. Anything else you want to talk about with this game? Because it's the last London game, and well, that's it
The last London game,
for this year.
I feel like all three London games were really good. Uh,
2 were
I
blowouts. One it was nice from start to finish.
was a very good game from start to finish. But segueing, the team that competed and had the best game in London,
Both teams actually played in London. Actually,
yeah,
Detroit hosting the Miami Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill being apparently now 0-4 in dome stadiums because now he lost, like his team lost in again another comeback drive, 20-16. It was a great game and I got to see it.
oh man,
So
that
could we just talk
that
about the
game,
first quarter? The first drive from the Dolphins, and they went 3-and-out.
huh?
Sacked 2 times in a row by Ndamukong Suh, and then they
Yep.
had a double team. It was like, okay, it took this far into the season for teams to realize we need to double team this guy. He's like J.J. Watt tier at this point, where you have to double team him, or else you will just plow through everything you have and just murder your quarterback.
He is a player that they need to resign, and I don't care how they do it. They need to resign him immediately.
Will he get a bigger contract than J.J. Watt? I won't be surprised.
I mean, he if the Lions let him go, I will cry,
They better not,
and
because no, go on.
I will cry manly tears. I swear that it will be the worst thing that ever happened. But the game itself, the first drive, you saw the Lions defense and what it can do to a team. The Lions defense shut them down. And that that first drive was indicative of what was going to happen the rest of the game. You know, you're dealing with a good team. A good team. You literally have a really good young quarterback in Tannehill who can run the football all over the field. You have Lamar Miller, who was more of a decoy than anything in that game because he was hurt. You had Dan Thomas. You had a bunch of good wide receivers and a good tight end. That's a good offense the Miami Dolphins have.
I think they're a good complete team. Well, maybe not anymore considering who they lost. They lost their best NFL tackle or offensive tackle.
Yep.
But I mean, even despite that loss, I think they're capable of sneaking into the playoffs.
They're very capable of sneaking into the playoffs. And for the Lions to shut them down, they were hot. They were all over the place. They had won 3 in a row. And really
by double digits, too. Don't forget that. They always...
And really...
But go on, then.
No, go ahead.
They outscored their opponents these last 3 games by more than 10 points. But,
oh, yeah.
I mean, and let's not forget, they shut out the Chargers, everyone's wild card team.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that was everybody's favorite team, and now they iced them.
Yeah.
So the Chargers have a lot to come out from, and I think how many did they lose? 3 or 4?
The Chargers or
yeah, the Chargers?
That was their 4th loss, I think.
They're still in it. They just have to win the rest of their games, which good luck because you lost to the Chargers or the Chiefs once. Now you got to go over there at the end of the season. You got to play the Broncos again, but you're hosting them, and you got to play the Raiders again, who nearly beat you, which is not a good sign because, being real here, the Chargers' defense was exposed because I won't lie, just like the Cowboys, I think it's a little overrated, and the reason why it didn't get so bad, it wasn't so bad at the beginning, because it always had time to rest with Phillip Rivers always getting the first downs. You shut him out, and that's the end of that.
Like the Cowboys, the Chargers masked their defensive issues with ball control and time of possession.
Exactly, and well, Detroit, everybody needs that because you need your defense to rest. Because I don't care if they're the number 1 in the league, they're going to get tired. They have stamina. They're humans.
But yeah, I mean, if you really look at this game, if the Lions can get healthy on offense,
they're going to get more healthy
and get everyone back, that team, if it gels the way I think it can gel, and I'm speaking as a Lions fan, they have a legit... Now, I've never seen them win... I've seen them win one playoff game in my entire life. 1992 or 3, one of the 2 years. They went 12-4 that year and went to the NFC title game. They had a first round bye and they won the second round game to get them into the NFC title game, where they lost to the Washington Redskins 45-0, and that's the year the Washington Redskins won the Super Bowl.
That damn Washington football team.
Yep, in between the, I think that was right in between the Cowboys dynasty that year. So,
but I mean, the Lions have a good shot here.
They have a legit team, and I want to prove all the doubters wrong. I want to prove all the doubters wrong. This team is the best team in the NFL, bar none. They have very few. If that offense can start playing like it's capable of playing, and that defense, that number one defense gets even more rested, and they can steamroll teams. And the Broncos and Lions are a legit Super Bowl. I thought I would be dreaming to say that the Lions have a legit shot at a Super Bowl. This is the team this year, and that game against the Dolphins proves that they can come back. No matter how bad they've looked on offense, they still found a way to win this game, and now we will see against the team that they're facing this week.
This is a major game, Bill. I'm surprised. I'm mad because, funny thing, to those who watched last week, I said I could watch 5 straight games in a row. Well, guess what? Those damn Packers have come to steal the limelight again because according to the local listings, it's going to be Philadelphia and the Packers playing on TV that I can watch.
They can have their Green Bay Packers.
But I don't want to watch that.
I want the Lions to fly under the radar. Keep not giving us the national spotlight. Keep putting those stupid Green Bay Packers on the television. I want them to keep getting put on the television because the more you doubt this team, I want them to go in. I want them to steamroll the Cardinals, and then week 17, when the national focus is on the game, I want the Lions to choke the life out of the Packers in Lambeau.
But Bill, to me, it's not a matter if it's on national TV or not. I just want to fucking watch it. I just want to see the game.
On 8:30, week 17, the Lions and the Packers will be fighting for first place. They will have the same record, and they will be fighting for first place, and it will be the game of the week on NBC, and the
Haven't I been saying that for the past 3 weeks now, or 5?
The Lions will choke out Aaron Rodgers and that offense in Lambeau.
I've been saying that for a long time. It's going to come down to that final game. Unless the Packers fuck up against the Eagles, which, remember, Detroit beat the NFC East team they had to play. But the Eagles, if they beat them, which, seeing as how Mark Sanchez just tore through the Panthers, granted that was the Panthers, it's going to be a shootout there. But it's
the Lions, it's all coming full circle. The Packers will lose against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm giving you that pick right now.
And they'll lose to the Patriots. Don't forget that. But to be fair, everyone's losing to the Patriots in the NFC North. Because the Patriots, they too are on a whole nother level.
I'm not. We'll get to that when.
Well, that's 2 weeks from now. That's 2 weeks from now. But Bill, I think you'll know if the Lions have a shot, depending on if the Patriots knock off the Colts at their place.
But look at what happened. Look at what happened to the Miami Dolphins. To get back to that game, the Dolphins, they wouldn't have even had a touchdown in that game. They wouldn't have had a touchdown had they not even blocked a field goal. I mean, if you really look at it, they lucked into their one touchdown, and the rest of a short field with an offense is a good field for an offense. You give an offense of football at a 3-yard line, they'll score points. It's almost guaranteed. That's too much of a letdown, But that Miami Dolphins team should not have scored more than 6 points in that game.
But I'm eating a Slurpee, by the way, so don't mind that.
All good.
No, you already know, but viewers don't. But anyway, Calvin Johnson's back. He's back.
That's what's scary. That is what's scary. And when they get Ebron, and when they get Pettigrew, and when they get Fourier, and they can all gel, and they have New Orleans' offensive coordinator from last year. Just look at how scary that team can be. It's it's that is a blowout machine waiting to happen. And it I the Lions are on the cusp of just I want them to keep winning close games. I want that to happen because the more close games you're in, the more intestinal fortitude that builds within yourself, and at the end of the year, that intestinal fortitude will be put on the test in week 17, and we'll see which team has the better offense and defense that week. Because it sure ain't the Packers defense that's going to be better than the Lions
worst
defense.
run defense. So let's be real. I really wish the Cowboys and the Packers shared that division, because I actually, what I should be saying is, I wish Chicago won that final game last year, because then the Packers would have been playing the Cowboys. Because I don't care where it's at, DeMarco Murray will run over that defense now because they have the worst run defense. And
Right.
I want the Packers to go play the Cowboys in the playoffs, because being real here, I think Lions and the Packers are both making the playoffs.
It's going to be a very scary situation for whoever's on the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm. And I would love for Dallas to host the Packers.
Really fair talk. Whoever comes out of the NFC South shouldn't even be in there.
Oh yeah, well, I think we all could agree to that. We don't want losing teams in the playoffs. We want the best, because whoever gets screwed out, and I know either the 49ers or Seattle is going to get fucked. Still. But, oh god. Oh god. Damn it.
What?
Oh, no, nothing. Kind of a partial brain freeze.
Oh,
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Okay.
But, yeah.
But NFC South, they should have 0 teams in the playoffs. They should be embarrassed to send anyone to the playoffs from that division.
Yeah, it's like, how about we trade draft picks for you guys to go? I don't know.
The NFL should be embarrassed that there's going to be a team under 500 in the playoffs. And it's like, kick out a team that's going to be a really good team.
Yep.
They should be embarrassed that that's going to happen. They should be embarrassed to allow the NFC South to even play any games. They should just forfeit all their games.
I won't lie. It would be super funny if the Buccaneers, who are theoretically still in it but not really. It's more bleak now that they lost to the Falcons again.
Theoretically, they're still in it though. They're only 3 games out.
Yeah, but
and that's what's sad. They're a 1-9 team and they still have a shot.
That's sad.
All they need to do is win some games. If they win some games this week, they could be in the playoffs. And, if they were to win out, they could be in the playoffs.
Yeah, they have to win all their games, especially the division ones. But even then, it depends on the other teams, especially Atlanta. Atlanta beat them twice.
They would need a lot of help. Atlanta's winning that division at 7-9. Look at that whole division. It just makes me sick looking at that
Real
division.
talk, the whole South, both sides. It's just the Colts. The Texans still are missing a lot of things, like a quarterback, which we'll get to that later, because I actually want to talk about Houston a little bit, since, funny enough, Ryan Mallett became the quarterback. You said it was going to wait one more game, but literally the day after they announced him. But anyway, the whole South in general is weak, and the NFL knows it. They need to give them some good players in the draft. But yeah, it's just the Colts, man. They're the only good team in this whole South.
Just looking at both South divisions, if you're an NFL executive and you go and say, oh, here's the Atlanta 7-9 playoff matchup against 11-5 whoever, you know, Green Bay or whatever. Yeah, whoever. You know, and you say that's the matchup for, and then to add it all off is that the 7-9 team gets a home playoff game. That is garbage. They shouldn't reward. They should not reward playing mediocre for a home playoff game. They should reward the team that played better. And if it's a wild card team that played better than the division winner, so be it.
I'm surprised I don't do
Oh,
that.
and now I'm ranting.
Oh yeah, we strayed so far off from the NFC North team, the
But
Detroit Lions.
But my Detroit Lions, I feel if the Lions don't win the division, they get into the wild card area, that they're going to get screwed out by an NFC South team. I have this, you know, as a Detroit fan, I feel like everything's always out to get the Lions, and literally I can envision a scenario where the Lions don't get in because of some stupid garbage team from the NFC South that will lose in the first round.
I hope not, because, well, Detroit's already played Atlanta, and it's going to be a grudge match. And the Saints.
I mean,
it doesn't matter who wins, the Saints or the or Atlanta. And
that's why the NFL needs that 8-team playoff. At least if you have a garbage team like the Atlanta Falcons or Carolina, God forbid Carolina gets into the playoffs.
yeah. Maybe last year, sure, but this year, no.
I mean, literally, all they would have to do is put out their quarterback. They don't need to put out an offensive line. They didn't play.
Nor where you been? But man,
ugh.
so those fumbles were ugly.
But overall, I feel back to the Lions. I feel like this is their shot. This is their opportunity. And I want them to seize it. I want them to seize it. And that game, that was a statement game. And look at who everyone picks over them. It's always the Packers. Well, we got a news flash for you. The best defense in the league, and
the number one
Stafford's
team in that division right now, too.
And Stafford's only going to get better.
Yep,
and that's all I got to say about it.
This next game is an even bigger statement game, because you're going up against what they call the best team in the whole league with the best record, the Cardinals, who scraped a win thanks to their defense. But we'll get to that in the picks. The other thing I wanted to mention was Joique Bell ran over that Miami Dolphin player. that was a fun play to see.
Joique Bell ran over Flipper. It was amazing.
Bill, you have bad thoughts with Flipper. You have very violent thoughts with Flipper. Last week was him eating a buffalo, and now this week him getting run over.
Oh man!
You're terrible, but
I know.
Regardless, the Dolphins are not out but they do have a short week against the now aggravated Buffalo Bills, who know that they both need to win if they want to stay in the wild card talk, because theoretically they both can sneak in if they didn't have to play each other again, but they have to now.
That game's an elimination game.
Oh,
Whoever loses is out.
I say it. Actually, I shouldn't say it. I said it already anyway. We said it already. I say the Dolphins are going to win. You say the Bills?
I thought I said the Dolphins.
Okay, making sure, because the Bills won the first time. The Dolphins, no. They can't afford to lose to them twice.
I'm picking against the Buffalo Bills the entire year.
Okay, except for the Jets game. Because...
Well, I don't know who I dislike more, Rex Ryan or Jim Schwartz.
Well, both Ryans. Well, for me, I don't like the other Ryan, the Saints one, which I think even if they make the playoffs, he's going to get fired. It's just a matter of time.
He's going to shave all of his hair and then, You know,
Yeah, but
get stupid looking glasses and stuff.
Bill, there's
Right.
one more player I gotta talk about. Persona 4
Okay.
Golden Tate, another 100-yard game with Megatron there, who also got 100 yards.
Exactly.
Golden Tate is, to me, I've already said it, he's my offensive player this year. I mean, everybody likes their DeMarco Murray, and I want to say Arian Foster. He's like the comeback player, whereas Stafford is the comeback kid. The whole comeback team is Detroit, mind you, but Golden Tate, man, he's getting the first downs. He feels like a tight end player, but he's really a wide receiver. But he's so
Right.
good. It's like, you know what, Seattle, and mind you, next year, I can already tell you the Detroit schedule, just not in order of how they're going to play. Detroit next year is going to play whoever's in first place in the NFC North and South, and they're going to play the entire. I think they're going to have the worst schedule, regardless if they go to the Super Bowl or not, or just going into the playoffs, because they're going to play the NFC and AFC West. So they're going to deal with Peyton Manning, Russell Wilson, and the Seahawks, who are getting their shit together now, and the 49ers, and the Cardinals again, and the Chiefs, and the Chargers, and then the okay Rams and Raiders. It's going to be tough.
Yeah,
But Bill,
but I'm not worrying about it until next year.
I know, but I'm just saying, Bill, if they want to get the good stuff now, they need to do it now, because next year is going to be tough. But it's going to be really fun to watch. And
This is the year. This is the year. And I can't wait to see what happens over the season. As a Detroit fan, I'm just sick and tired of the Packers winning the division, and the Bears winning the division, and the Vikings winning the division. I just
one year,
want to
okay,
see
that was 1 year when Brett Favre made a comeback.
I just want to see my team win the division for once, just one time. You know, everyone in Green Bay gets titles, and everyone else gets titles, and no one feels bad about other teams that don't get in. You know, I don't feel bad about Green Bay with the relax phrase, or Chicago having garbage defense, or Minnesota that can't play football apparently.
Once
You
in a
know,
while.
there's two teams in the NFC North, and I really want the Packers to lose. I want them to lose. I want them to lose every week. And I want my Lions to win the division and win the Super Bowl. It will put away 60 years of just god awful history.
Oh yeah, it'll be the start of a new era. But the other thing is, I think no matter what happens, Detroit next year, I see two games that are going to be Sunday night. A divisional game, I don't know which one, and Seattle and Detroit. Do you know why? They have one of the.
Defensive slugfest.
Not just that, Golden Tate's with Detroit now. It's personal.
Yeah. If anything, they would put probably Denver, Detroit.
Oh, that
as
one will be great too. In fact, that might be another one. But it's just that, let's be real. After this year, nobody's going to care about the Green Bay Chicago rivalry. It's going to be all Detroit Green Bay for the next 2 years or 3.
Right.
But
But
I mean, any other games to talk about? Because there are some good games and it's just slaughters.
I feel like my Detroit rant. It wasn't more a rant. It was more a passionate speech about how I want my team to win.
Well, if you do, how do you think I feel with Dallas? I mean, I still love Houston more, but I think they're out. They have to win every single game, which I think they can beat one more non-division team, which I'll say that in a couple weeks from now. But Dallas, this is their year too to get the playoffs and finally shut up the naysayers. And I won't lie, Dallas at Detroit for the title game sounds really fun.
I'd rather it just not be that way.
Why? Because you just want a weak team to go to Detroit and just get destroyed?
I'd like to go to the Super Bowl at least.
Bill, they have terrible defense. You know Detroit is gonna win.
I want them to win.
I mean,
I
I'll
don't.
be honest. I'd rather Detroit go because I think they're more of a complete team. But I'm just saying, I want fun games too. Not just one-sided event.
Right. I can see a scenario
Or
where
even
it would
Philly,
be.
or Philly.
I can see a scenario in my mind where it'd be a Detroit Green Bay NFC title game.
Oh God, that would be fun. But
It wouldn't be fun for me
well, well.
because I'd be a nervous wreck the entire
Oh
game.
yeah, because Aaron Rodgers is not gonna go down. He thinks this is his year too, but really, I think it'll be Detroit taking the number one spot because I think Green Bay is gonna implode in one very important game. But I just can't see. I think it's this next game. I think this is where they implode.
I hope they implode. I need them to implode.
Yeah, but what? Oh, the New York Jets. Michael Vick played like Michael Vick, the good Michael Vick, taking out the Steelers, and the Steelers just had so many opportunities to score where they just fumbled or they just turned over the ball. That was that was to me the biggest plot twist of the week. Forget San Fran saving their season by beating the Saints at home. The Jets, one of the worst teams in the league, just defeats who everybody believed was one of the best in the AFC.
Yeah,
That was fun. That was really fun. Uh,
it, it was a fun game to kind of watch. You know, the thing about that game was that the overall feel of that game, it felt like Pittsburgh couldn't do anything right, that they couldn't get out of their own way. And this is the same team that set an NFL record with 12 touchdown passes.
it's like, how do you fuck up to the Jets? I mean, the Jets fans are partying like they won the Super Bowl, which good for them, because you're not gonna get another good win like this against a good team.
I mean, seriously, if I was a Jets fan, that's probably the only time I'm gonna be able to cheer for my team. You know,
I won't lie.
so
I think the Jets will beat the Patriots because it seems Rex Ryan just brings everything to the Patriots, to Bill Belichick, just because he hates him so much.
and yet the Patriots consistently just brutalize his teams.
Except for last year, that was because of that damn call. But
Yeah, well,
that's the past.
overall, if you really think about the last few years, every time Rex Ryan opened his mouth and said that they were gonna win or blah blah blah, they just got absolutely destroyed. And I feel like the Jets. I felt like that was the Jets' Super Bowl, and that I think they're playing for Rex Ryan's job, but I doubt that's safe.
Yeah,
I
even if you win all the rest of your games, you're still not.
I I feel like Rex Ryan is coached his way out of New York. He was on the hot seat last year, and he barely got him to a point where they were respectable. But you can only go so far with Geno Smith as your quarterback.
And Michael Vick will not be a long-term answer. He's getting old.
Yep.
But
So
there is also. Did you see the Chiefs Bills game? Where there? Did you see the thing where they showed the Rex Ryan, or not Rex Ryan, Andy Reid and an Andy Reid cosplayer? So like, which one's Andy Reid?
no, I did not see that.
That was pretty funny because he actually looked like him quite well.
Oh man.
But I like when people dress up as coaches. It's so funny.
Oh man.
Like at the Atlanta Detroit game, there was the Ryan brothers watching the game.
Yep. You know who's no one dresses up as?
Who?
Jim Schwartz.
Of course not, because then they have to dress up two players as Bills players, or people as Bills players, so they can carry him off at the end of the game. But there's no
Yeah.
reason to carry him off because, well, I mean, the Bills played well I thought it was going to be another upset where the Chiefs get knocked down and then they're thrown into question. Are these the playoff teams we know and love? But no, they turned that ball over like a. Just when you thought they were going to break the Chiefs' hot streak of not letting a rushing touchdown happen this year, they batted the ball off his hand into the end zone, which is a touchback, and the Chiefs got the ball.
Yep.
And then Alex Smith ran for dear life like it was his career on the line for that game-winning touchdown. And Kyle Orton, I mean, I'm not throwing him under like in the hot seat because I think his player let that ball fall, and they didn't catch as much as they could have, and Sammy Watkins just wasn't 100%.
Right.
Really, he was a decoy, and I don't think they should have played him. They should have just let him rest because, really, you needed him. You need him more for the Dolphins game than this one.
Right.
Because if you beat the Dolphins, better for you in the playoff run for the wild card spot. But you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather win more of my division games than my whole season because at least I knock off those guys from having a chance. If you get what I mean, I don't know.
Yep.
But the Bills, they're not out. They're not out. It all comes down to this one, and then whoever else they play afterwards. But yeah, that one was an interesting game. Other games, well, we talked about Green Bay and how they just massacred the Bears like it was hunting season. First the Patriots hunted the Bears. Oh, it's Green Bay. They just captured the Bears and packed them up to sell in the markets.
I was secretly wanting the Bears to win the Packers, but
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that betters the Lions' odds. That means they can take a loss and still be above.
You know, I kind of found it after it was like 21-0. I was hoping for a train wreck. I wanted it to be like 63-0.
You know, you got close. You were like 8 away from that, but
I wanted it. I wanted to see a train wreck. I wanted to see an NFL team get embarrassed.
oh, okay. They already got embarrassed twice in a row with plus 50. They allowed 100 points, over 100 points in their last 2 games.
And they're the first team since 1923 to do it.
Who was that in 1923?
An unknown team by the name of the Rochester Jeffersons.
That sounds very British, to be honest.
Yep, it was the Rochester Jeffersons the last time that someone lost that badly. Guess what? The Rochester Jeffersons either don't exist or have changed their name since.
Yeah, probably.
Most likely have become defunct, though.
Oh, most likely. But other games, I mean, Arizona, they lost their quarterback like we were talking about earlier. They lost their quarterback for the season, and just after a contract extension, too.
Well, at least he got his money before it happened.
Yeah, but here's the coincidence. That happened that happened at the exact same time for when he was with the Bengals.
Yep.
So, you should never give contract extensions until after the year is over.
And never give contract extensions to Carson Palmer.
Well, you can't give him another one because his career is over in 3 years. He's retiring a Cardinal.
It wouldn't surprise me. Carson Palmer's the best quarterback they've had there since Kurt Warner. But Drew Stanton is capable. He's nowhere near as good as...
yeah, but you're going to sick him. You sicked him once against the Broncos, who were one of the best defenses in the league. And Peyton Manning with it being one of the better quarterbacks of the league, if not the best. And then you've got the Lions coming to town, coming off a big important win against the Dolphins, and they've got the best defense in the league.
The Lions are going to look at this as a playoff style game.
Yeah.
I assume that's what they're going to do,
I think go on.
I think the Cardinals are in some serious world of hurt.
Their priority now is to keep that lead, that gap between the other two teams as long as they can, because if they want any shot at the Super Bowl, they need the first or second seed right now, because this is a battle for the first seed rights right now, because it's them and then it's literally Arizona and then Detroit. But if Detroit beats them, they get that first seed, and
And
Arizona's
they
plot back down.
that's where the Lions need to sit as well.
That's yeah. So I mean, neither wants to give up a bye, but this is important because the Lions cannot afford for Aaron Rodgers to catch up. They need that gap and maybe make it more if they can. But though
I'm
that goes to that's up
I'm
to
ju-
Green Bay.
I'm just putting it this way: if you're under 11 wins on the NFC side, you're not making the playoffs.
Oh yeah, because you can't afford to lose many games because
Especially with NFC South teams.
yep, they're gonna take away
But
a spot.
yep. But otherwise, really, the games themselves they were pretty good. Not the greatest, but not the worst
Oh yeah.
of the
To
year.
think the New York Giants had a chance.
Huh.
Oh God, I mean Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch got a franchise record of over 300 yards, I think 315.
Oh yeah.
Incredible! I've never seen that much. I mean, that's as
And
much as
Marsh
you expect with a passing game.
and Marshawn Lynch with his 4 touchdown runs. He made some fantasy football owner very, very happy.
Oh yeah,
First.
for whoever had their beast mode, as they call them, good for you. But let's go on to our subject of the week. This is a two, maybe three-part subject about the Pro Bowl, because as you know, the Pro Bowl ballots are open. We're not going to actually vote for them, because I would show you on the screen if I voted. Maybe someday. I don't know. But so we have our offensive. We'll pick a few quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends, and just some if we can think of any offensive linemen. Which I'll give you my offensive lineman because that's the easiest. The whole Dallas offensive line.
So we're gonna start with the offensive line.
Yeah, let's just get the most weird one
All
out
right.
of the way.
So the NFC offensive line for the Pro Bowl. Well, you're supposed to select specific players, but I'm we're going concept wise for the offensive line, and I am also picking the Dallas
Do you
Cowboys.
have any offensive line for the AFC? Because I got the whole Broncos team because they were built to protect Peyton Manning because they know if he gets hurt, they're done.
My offensive line, and it's occurred within the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I feel like this offensive line's gonna do the same thing the rest of the year. It's the New England Patriots.
Wow,
They're
really?
protecting, they're protecting Tom Brady, and when you protect Tom Brady, he's going to pick people apart. Peyton Manning's been running for his life recently.
Oh yeah, true. I haven't seen that much games, mind you, from him. Just the Patriots one where
I mean,
there was all only passing.
they were playing a pretty pathetic Oakland Raiders team, and for Peyton Manning to be running out of the pocket to try to get away from on rushers from in that Raiders game and throwing picks because of it, it the Broncos have a good offensive line, but they can get better.
Understandable because they had I thought they had the best
I
last
mean,
year. But
now
now, yeah, I can understand the Patriots. I would include them too, but I already decided. So
all
let's
right.
go to the more interesting ones now. The quarterback. Who do you have for NFC and AFC? So yeah, we're picking NFC sides and AFC sides since you kind of gotta pick between a mix of both. Kind of.
All right. For my NFC side, I've picked two to send, and it would be Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers for an outstanding season. In the last few games, he's just been going off. 24 touchdowns, 0 picks. And the second quarterback is Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. He's basically had to carry the team on his back.
Yeah, since they lost all their receivers. But I'm okay with them losing Golden Tate because better fit for Detroit.
And for my AFC side, I've got Peyton Manning what can you say? He's a Hall of Famer. And Andrew Luck, who is quietly having the best season of his pro career, and he's turning into what Peyton Manning was about 10 years
Oh
ago,
yeah.
15 years
He's
ago.
getting a Super
Oh.
Bowl sometime soon in his life, whether you like it or not, or should I say whether I like it or not, as I want Houston to go and not him. But
But now,
my turn.
your picks there, sir.
I have almost the exact same. The NFC side are the same for like you. I have Aaron Rodgers because whether I like it or not, he's playing at the height of his career. But he's been good. He hasn't really fucked up. No interceptions recently, so that's good for him. Though I believe that will change once he plays a couple of good teams like the Patriots, for example. And Russell Wilson because he's running the team to victory. I mean, and then now you have Marshawn Lynch to help, to let him rest a little bit while he gets those touchdowns too. Yeah, you've got probably the best running quarterback in the league, at least in my opinion. I think Kaepernick's overrated. Anyway, so for the other side, I have Andrew Luck as well because he's getting better, and really just sending him to the Pro Bowl if he doesn't win in the playoffs, which I don't think he will. Maybe not anymore. And for the other side, I have Tom Brady.
Oh,
I have Tom Brady. He usually always goes, so it's no surprise here. And he too is playing what I believe this is his best year. He hushed the naysayers quickly. And I know this is a little off subject, but do you mind if I'll save it for the picks. No, I'll save it for the picks. Never mind.
okay.
So those are my two. Though I will give one special mention. I'm not picking him, but I think he's worth considering. I'm actually thinking Ryan Tannehill should go to his first one because I think he's playing really well. I'm not voting for him, but I think he's worth an honorable mention to me
Right.
because he too can run. I think eventually he'll outrun Russell Wilson. But let's move on
Right.
to the running backs, who I think
All
is the
right.
most important piece in the league right now.
My two running backs that I've picked for the NFC side, Marshawn Lynch of the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, what can you say? He's nicknamed Beast Mode for a reason. Then last week he proved why. And DeMarco Murray, again, leading rusher in the NFL. Easy pick. He's just too good. AFC side though, there's a lot of really bad teams on the NFC side to try to pick. Uh, but I'm going Jamal Charles of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, bad running back situations over in the AFC. Really, there's only two teams that you can think that have established running backs over there. Maybe three. And the other one is Le'Veon Bell of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow, shocker.
He's been running really hard. He's a second year running back, and his upside is still limitless.
All right. So I will be going over the NFC as well. I believe, the same as you again. I have Marshawn Lynch because he's finally established himself this one game. Assuming he keeps it up, though, because if not, then I'm going LaShawn McCoy instead. But my other person is, of course, DeMarco Murray, the best runner in the league. Because, well, 1,500 yards now, he's well on the way to... I think he's going to reach 3,000. It's over 3,000! What, 3,000?
Oh man,
And then for the AFC side, I've got, of course, you know me by now, Arian Foster. It's pretty much DeMarco Murray first and Arian Foster second, in my opinion. In fact, they're tied for what is now the second highest because, well, Baltimore Ravens has an average 5.4 per rush, though. I think it's because they played weaker teams these past few weeks. Well, this last week, I should say, because the Titans are trash. Titans. So I've got Arian Foster because I think he's great. So, and then for my other one, I have Jamal Charles because I think that guy is phenomenal, and I like his name. Jamal sounds like a cool name. So let's go to the wide receivers.
All
I think
right.
I've got five for these actually. I think I have a three NFC and two AFC, or I might have them mixed up.
Oh man. All right. So I have on the NFC side Des Bryant. I mean, what can you say?
Throw
Tall,
up that X, man.
lanky, super amazing. And now here comes a shocker. My second guy is Golden Tate.
That's not a shocker to me, at least. Maybe
Golden
go.
I think Golden Tate will be the best Lions wide receiver this year.
Yeah, because everybody's just watching Calvin Johnson.
Now, on the AFC side, everyone's gonna call me a Broncos fanboy, but I mean, it's all good because I really like watching the Broncos play. Demarius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders for the AFC side for wide receivers. Really, on the AFC side, there's really no, I mean, I'll give a third one for the AFC side. Those two will act as one. The other one that I can think of from the AFC, T.Y. Hilton.
Exactly, he's too good. But
He's too good.
I mean, and then if you have him being on the same team as Andrew Luck, well, you've already got his favorite wide receiver.
Yep.
So yeah, it's good. So my turn. I think I've got six now that you brought one up from the Broncos. So I have for the NFC side, I have Des Bryant as well because man, just throw up that X in the Pro Bowl, man, throw it up in Hawaii. I think, especially seeing how you can keep churning those legs into the end zone. Yeah, this guy's getting more and more aggressive, and that's good for him. Whatever gets you the points. And then I have Golden Tate, of course, no surprise. I've been praising this guy all year, and I've been saying, give it time, he's going to get better. And did I not call it? This guy is great. Perfect fit for the Lions. He's going to do probably well if he goes to the Pro Bowl. And then for my final one, my final ones are all AFC.
Oh man.
I have, for the AFC, I have Demarius Thomas because gods, that guy is great. He's on a whole nother level. I have T.Y. Hilton because I mean, as much as I hated that game, T.Y. Hilton was phenomenal when he went to Houston at Thursday Night Football. The
Yep.
dude's just incredible. Next up. I have, where is he? I need to see his name again. Wow, I can't find him on here. Is he not on this list? Because I have the list pulled up.
Uh, Give me teams, and I could probably.
It's a Patriots player. Oh, now I see him. He's on the way top. I have Danny Amendola. I think the guy's better. I think he's getting better, but was it him that got those two? I'm thinking of the guy who got those touchdowns, like the punt return touchdown and two more. Was it him? Whoever that guy was, it's him that I think.
I think you're thinking Julian Edelman.
Oh, then yeah, Edelman. I have Edelman because seeing how he is perhaps I think he's probably Tom Brady's best receiver. Like his best friend isn't Gronk, which I have him for my tight end for obvious reasons. I think that guy is also doing really well. Probably his best year in his career so far. So how many was that? Two or three? Three, right?
That was you had Demarius, you had him.
T.Y. Hilton. Yeah, that's three.
T.Y.
And my
Hilton.
final one. This one's bold. DeAndre Hopkins, because that guy can jump.
Oh man.
I mean, if you got him a better quarterback, the dude would have had 10 touchdowns by now. Because
Yeah.
you can double cover him, and he can still get that ball by himself easily, probably with one hand too. I think the kid will become one of the best wide receivers in the league in a couple of years. And this is only his second year, I believe.
Correct.
So we're going to end it off with the tight ends because fullbacks are rarely used.
Yep. Tight end for the NFC, I have Greg Olson of the Carolina Panthers. Uh, and tight end from the AFC, I've got Julius Thomas, who I believe is going to break Randy Moss's single-season touchdown record.
Probably with pretty much with Peyton Manning, all records are going to be shattered.
Yep.
I've got three actually, two AFC, one NFC. For my NFC side, I have Jason Witten. Jason Witten is that, like you said, the guy who can always get you the first down. He's the one that can get those key catches, and he can still get the end zone catches, no problem. And then for the AFC, I have a shocker one. I believe he was a former Texan. Owen Daniels for the Ravens. I mean, he tipped that ball to Steve Smith a few weeks ago, but I think he's still a solid tight end. I don't know why they got rid of him. I think Owen Daniels was great. And then finally, I have the Gronk. I already said Gronk because Gronk is basically a wide receiver. Just put it a different position.
Yep.
I mean, he can do just as good as any wide receiver in this league. Catch a ball in the left hand, surrounded by one of the better defenses in the league, no problem. Gronk will just smash through them. He nearly got a touchdown if he didn't get touched by them. So I've got that. I've got him. So that I believe that wraps up our Pro Bowl for now. Our Pro Bowl thoughts for now. Because next week we'll talk about the defense and the special teams. Which special teams is really a kicker, a punter, and a punt returner. Which I've only got maybe one or two players for that one. Kickers, you already know mine, Bill. You already know who I like as a kicker. But are you ready, Bill? It's time for our final thing, our final job for this week.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Bill.
Picks.
Announce the Thursday game. Oh, even though we already know it.
Announce the Thursday game. That's the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins, and we both picked
the Dolphins. But really, seeing as how the Bills lost, this is going to be a slugfest. Bill, your thoughts of possibly Flipper going murder or genocidal is not far from reality at this point, because goddamn, they both need this win.
They both need it.
Whoever loses it's going to be very hard for them to get in the playoffs, because the AFC has so many winning teams, and after this game, someone's not going to be on that list anymore. All right. I'm going to announce these next two Sunday night games. So, Sunday afternoon, I mean. For the first game, the Minnesota Vikings going to Chicago. Let's hear your thoughts, Bill.
Oh, man. My thoughts? Two really terrible teams going after each other. They literally, I feel like Minnesota is just deficient in multiple areas, and they're just undermanned and they would be outclassed by the Chicago Bears, and I believe the Chicago Bears will win, although I feel like it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Really? Even though the Vikings have the better defense?
The Vikings have the better defense, but I feel like the Chicago Bears offense is going to come out really mad.
Oh yeah, because they're fighting to stay alive, but though it's impossible at this point. To me, at least. But so, who do you have?
I have the Chicago Bears.
I agree with that. I believe the Bears are finally going to get off their rut of losing every home game, and this is probably their only home game win, so I hope Bears fans attend this game, because this is the only good game you're going to see at home. Because the next game I could think of for home is when Dallas goes there in December, and I think Dallas will run them over. But I've got the Bears.
It's not looking good for the Bears. Let's just put it that way.
Well, the Bears are going to be hunted to extinction. They may as well hide now. I mean, the Vikings are going out for their share of the hunting prize, but It's just not gonna.
All you're gonna hear is the Viking horn in the middle of the Chicago Bears Soldier Field for no apparent reason.
Yeah, but well, the Vikings won't win this time, so I've got the Bears. So, the next game, the Houston Texans going to the red-hot Cleveland Browns, who are currently at the top of their division. Now, the reason why I wanted to announce these two games was because I had a video I wanted to share with Bill. So,
Oh God.
I will be putting that video on the side, or in editing, if I remember, which I should, and you will get to see it. If not, I will link you the video, and you can watch it for yourself, either along with us or afterwards. So,
Oh man.
are you ready, Bill?
I am ready as I'll ever be.
It's only a minute long, so don't worry, and just enjoy. Ready, Bill? On
Ready.
go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, here we go.
Mike Polk, season ticket holder. Killer game in Houston today.
Well, thank God we built you. What a blessing for the community.
You are wasting valuable space on our majestic shoreline, and what do we get out of it from you? 10 miserable games a year, including 2 preseason games that I have to pay for, and 1 shitty Kenny Chesney concert. Do you understand that it's actually statistically harder for a team to be this consistently bad than it is for them to occasionally accidentally be good? The probability is staggering. Did you happen to see that Packers-Chargers game today? It's like they're playing a different sport than you are. And here's what you have to understand. We don't even expect you to be good. We just want you to be watchable. Do you have any idea how low our expectations are? We don't expect you to win the Super Bowl. We just want you to look better than a Division III high school team. And listen, I know that there are way more important things in life than football, but you aren't supposed to be our pleasant distraction from those things. But all we do is pay you money to put us in a bad mood every week.
Okay, Bill, just keep quiet.
You are a factory of sadness!
I'll see you Sunday.
Oh man.
Oh, great stuff, man. It was
Yeah.
a great video.
Oh man.
So, Bill, share me your thoughts on that.
I can empathize from where he's coming from.
As a Detroit fan. But
It's-
did you notice what he said at the beginning?
Yeah,
Killer game in Houston today.
yeah. I mean,
So,
yeah. He said killer game amongst.
and I believe Ryan Mallett is going to debut well, not incredible. I don't think he's going to get to be the best, but I believe he's going to do what the team should be doing and staying out there and wearing out that Cleveland Browns defense while J.J. Watt will be rested up, and I believe Jadeveon Clowney will return and finally get a damn sack in a game this year. And I will call upset of the week. The red-hot Cleveland Browns are going to lose their spot in first place for now. I've got Houston finally rebounding.
Oh man. Alright, so I'm picking the Cleveland Browns, even though their run defense is pretty terrible. You still got a young quarterback coming in, and you've still got one of the best corners in the game in Joe Hayden playing probably on DeAndre Hopkins. And I just feel like the Browns will shut down Ryan Mallett himself, and the running game will do decent. But I feel like it's going to be the Browns like 23-20.
Understandable. Though I will say, I know Houston's going to beat some team in this division, and I think it's going to be the Bengals because, well, the Bengals are being trash right now.
Behold the worst game of all time! The Atlanta Falcons at Carolina Panthers, and they're only a game out of first place at 3-6, 3-6, and 5-1.
Who do you got, Bill?
I've got the Atlanta Falcons beating the Panthers. Literally anything could beat the Panthers right now. I swear to God, like a little chick from that just hatched could run up and knock over one of their offensive linemen right now.
I don't think that would happen. I think Atlanta will still win. And, well, the guy's going to lose his job anyway, even if he makes the playoffs somehow. I've got Atlanta.
Oh, man. Next up, Here we go. The Cincinnati Bengals at the New Orleans Saints.
I have the Saints winning. I mean, I expected them to beat the 49ers, but the Bengals are playing pretty badly right now, and if they want to save their season, they need to beat the Saints, but it's not going to happen. I've got the Bengals losing to the Saints.
And for that reason, that the Bengals are desperate for a win, I have them beating the Saints. And then it's a tie between the Falcons and the Saints for first place in the division at 4-6.
Wow. Interesting. Now, Bill, this is the worst game of the week, this next one.
Oh. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Washington football team.
Oh, man. You know what? I just want the Buccaneers to finally get a damn win again. But I think RG3 is going to reestablish his authority. And why the hell are they ranked in the top 10 for all their stuff except rushing? That is that's such a lie. I've got the Washington football team, even though I want the Bucs to get an upset. It's just not going to happen. Not with their quarterback.
I believe that the Buccaneers will win, and they're going to go 2-8 and be only 2 games out.
You just want everyone to have a chance there.
I just feel that division's the most ridiculous in football, and I feel like that's going to happen.
Understandable. I don't blame you.
The next game up, Denver Broncos at the St. Louis Rams.
Okay, the Rams are good against all of their division, but against anybody else, no, and especially the Broncos. I've got the Broncos just decimating the Rams.
I have the Broncos also stomping the Rams. It's pretty easy.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, the San Fran 49ers at the New York Giants.
Okay, 49ers gonna take care of business. It's as simple as that. Colin Kaepernick's gonna have a good day, but the Giants just won't get their act together.
49ers, the New York Giants are probably going to fire Tom Coughlin, their head coach. I can't see why you would keep a head coach that can't win a game. So 49ers.
I'm fine with it as long as they get a worse coach, because I don't want the Giants winning ever again.
Next up, Seattle Seahawks at Kansas City Chiefs.
Another upset. The Chiefs taking care of business. Throw their spears at the Seahawks, and then they got some nice bird to eat for dinner. I've got the Chiefs with their phenomenal defense shutting down Beast Mode and Russell Wilson.
I have a defensive slugfest, a 13-10 game, and the Seahawks winning, just doing enough to win the game. Just enough. Barely.
And they're still alive in the playoff race?
Yep.
Wow.
Next up, Oakland Raiders at San Diego.
Oh, no, I don't like this. San Diego's going to take care of business again. And this time it's not going to be good for the Raiders. They may as well bury every football they see at this point because, well, they're not going to win anymore.
They're the next 0-16 team. Thank you for being a joke along with us, Oakland. San Diego's winning this.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, the Detroit Lions at Arizona.
Oh, man. The Lions have the perfect chance to seize the first seed with this game. They need to win this, and they need to bring nothing but their A game. The Cardinals lost their quarterback. They are still dumbfounded, and the Lions need to capitalize on that and shut down Drew Stanton, keep the pressure on him, and you have fumbles and pick sixes ahoy. I've got the Lions going to the nest and taking out the Cardinals and becoming the #1 team in the NFC.
The Lions have a perfect opportunity, and this will be the game. The national spotlight will shift to the Detroit Lions. We won't be taken as a joke anymore, and the Lions will be into, and we will finally get some respect from the media. The media has not been with the Lions. We will get the respect after we defeat the Cardinals. Next up, the Philadelphia Eagles at Green Bay.
I don't know if you call this an upset, but maybe. It's a shootout, and the Eagles will come out on top. Mark Sanchez is going to further establish his authority as the franchise's quarterback. I have the Eagles ending the Packers' hot streak yet again in a crazy shootout of 42-38. Those are ugly numbers, I know.
Recently, the Philadelphia Eagles defense has been pretty legit, and they are going to shut down Aaron Rodgers' favorite target, Jordy Nelson. Shut him down, you shut down Aaron Rodgers, and you shut down the Packers. Eagles win. Next up, the New England Patriots at the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday Night Football.
Bill, I've got the Patriots winning, and I will make one bold declaration. The Patriots will never lose a game for the rest of the season. I said they'd be 14-2, and I think they've lost their the only 2 games that they had to lose, or that they lost already. I have the Patriots going to Indy in Lucas Oil Stadium and showing that they are the top dog in the AFC, further solidifying their first place seed in the AFC. I got Patriots knocking off the Colts.
I have also the Patriots knocking off the Colts, but in overtime.
You're taking that thing into overtime, Bill?
Yep.
Interesting.
I feel like both teams won't be able to stop one another. And they'll be like 34-34, and then they'll get into overtime, and Patriots will win by a field goal. 37.
I have Hightower getting a turnover.
Oh man.
And that's gonna undo the Colts.
And then the letdown of the week, Monday Night Football, Pittsburgh Steelers at the Tennessee Titans.
Well, they know not to take a weak team seriously now, so Steelers have this win against the Tennessee Titans.
They need to prepare. They will be prepared. The Pittsburgh Steelers were embarrassed by the Jets. They won't be embarrassed by the Titans. Pittsburgh will win.
All right, so let's go to the next Thursday night game in case we're not around for
yeah,
that.
let's click week 12 here, eh? That'd be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. This is quite the game. Here we go. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Oakland Raiders.
Oh man, the Raiders need a win, but this is just not one of those games they can win. Kansas City, Jamal Charles is going to have perhaps his best game yet.
Oh, this isn't even a game. It's gonna be the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders are going for 0-16. That'll make them 0-11.
Poor guys.
So it's kind of the owner's fault. They got what they deserve. They keep firing good head coaches. They can't get what they deserve.
Okay, but Bill, before I go, I have one thing to note. Is it too late to change Week 12 Sunday Night Football game? Because the Cowboys at the Giants will be. I don't think it'll be that fun because the Giants are going to lose the rest of their games and they're going to be 3-7. That's kind of lame.
It'll be kind of something like that.
I would rather. I can't between these games. You can't have Cardinals and Seahawks because they're playing on Week 16. Seahawks at Cardinals. And, the Patriots were just on the week before, so you can't put them 2 times a week, even though the Lions-Patriots is probably the best game that week. So, who do you go for? Dolphins at Broncos, even though the Broncos will be on next week? Or do you go with the only team I can think of, and I know this sounds really biased, but the Bengals at the Texans seems more fun than this, to be honest. And I know I sound biased, but real talk, the Bengals are struggling. Just imagine it. Bengals struggling to get first place back. Texans scraping just to hope for a wild card spot. Does that not sound more interesting than a red hot offense that is Dallas just going in against a weak the weakest, in my opinion, New York Giants team in recent years.
I feel like it's gonna stay the same.
It's just because it's a damn rivalry game.
Mm.
I mean, the other Cowboys game at Philly is great because that is playoff implications for sure. But oh well, I don't know. You never know, but
Never
I
know
doubt it's going
what'll-
to change because all these games aren't that great except for the Lions Patriots and the Broncos Dolphins. But they either have played already or will play the week after.
Right.
So, oh well, it sucks. But just a thought that I wanted to get off my chest. Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to do it for Week 11's football talks. Week 12, while the games are some of them are promising, especially that Lions game the week after.
Right.
So, anything else you'd like to note, Bill?
Nope.
I'm looking forward to the Arizona Cardinals and Detroit Lions game. It's going to be the most fun game to watch.
Yep.
Anyway, that'll do it for this week. We'll see you guys next week. Say goodbye, Bill.
Goodbye.
We'll see you guys next week.